everyone, it's been a little longer than I planned since my last video, and I actually had one ready to post, but before I did, I realized it didn't sit right with me. It didn't reflect how I really feel. The truth is, I wanted that video to be a little more sympathetic toward Meghan, but after catching up on what she's been doing and saying recently, I would be competing with the Duchess of Sussex for Queen of Denial, and that's not a crown I'm trying to win. So I started over because this moment in Paris says something important, not just about Meghan, but about how far she's drifted from any kind of self-awareness. So let's talk about Meghan Markle in Paris during Fashion Week. There are plenty of channels that break down everything Meghan does, and they roast her and they do it well. And honestly, she asks for it. But I'm coming at this from a different perspective. I want to ask, why is there so much to say about Meghan so much of the time? Why is there so much material that people have trouble choosing what to make fun of? There's so much material because she keeps providing it. She never stops. If she has nothing to say, she still finds a way to say nothing. Everything she says or does is either laughable or offensive. It's never anything we can commend. And believe me, I have been looking for something, because while I find her completely dislikable, I don't hate Meghan Markle. I don't wish anything bad on her. I keep looking for something good because I've been wondering, where does this end? Do we just keep pounding her into the dirt for everything she does? Until when? Forever? How does this resolve itself? So I have been looking for something, anything that's redeeming. And so far, I haven't found it. She's accepting an award. She paid for it. She's talking about saving our kids from the dangers of social media. She's posting pictures of her kids all over Instagram. She wants to branch out into fashion, and then she steps out in Paris wearing a bedsheet and a matching duvet cover. You know that saying, all press is good press? Somehow she broke that matrix. She's managed to make all press bad press. I don't know how she did it. Yes, all press, except for the puff pieces she orchestrates in tabloids. It's all bad press. No one can convince me that Meghan went to Paris, put that on, looked in a mirror, and said, This is exactly what I imagined myself wearing when I invited myself here. No one can convince me of that, not even Meghan. In fact, especially not Meghan. Because I don't believe Meghan is a liar so much as I think Meghan believes everything she says, which is much more disturbing because so much of what she says is simply incompatible with the facts. Are there people telling her, yes, at 43 years old, you should go out with a wet skin look, even though there'll be a ton of flash photography that'll look amazing in print? Either she has people around her saying, yes, that's a great idea to every bad idea she has. Or they tell her, don't do that. I don't advise you to do that. And she says, no, I've considered your advice, but I'm not going to follow it. In which case, what are they even for? Are they there to advise her? Or does she just need people affirming every whim she wants to act on? That outfit she wore in Paris was one of several things within a few days that were so cringeworthy and so Meghan. The picture near the tunnel where Princess Diana died. The awkward double cheek kiss that was supposed to be cute, but it looked like a failed, high five, bro. I don't believe in coincidences. I don't believe someone can get it wrong as many times as Meghan has and not know it. I think Meghan is unraveling. She looks unrecognizable from the woman we met when the palace first announced Harry's engagement to her. Now she looks like she's smiling through panic so hard her face hurts. I did a video about a week ago and said, Meghan's been unusually quiet and I think this is just the calm before the storm. And then she came and stormed Paris. She keeps trying to one-up herself. It's like she realizes she's a laughingstock and she's decided, okay, I'll embrace it. I'm going to be as outrageous as I possibly can be. She's stuck in freeze mode. She's like a Roomba in a corner that just keeps bumping the wall until someone either turns it around or it just can't go anymore. Sometimes Meghan's actions demand to be laughed at, but I don't find this funny. I find it sad. It's what happens when people are obsessed with aesthetics and not with anything real. I need to be seen talking to this person. I need to be seen at that place. I need a photo doing this thing. Not, I miss my kids. I want to see my husband. I want to go for a walk with him and just talk. Or even, I don't want to ride through Paris in a limousine all night and post pictures to Instagram. I want to go back to my room and FaceTime with my children. If I could talk to her, I'd say, Meghan, you've already proven you can beat impossible odds. You were a little girl in LA in the early 90s, and now you're the first biracial woman to marry into the British royal family. And when you did, you and your husband topped popularity polls. You were set to be a prominent figure representing the crown. You achieved it. And then for whatever reason, you rejected it. Whatever reason she had for sabotaging herself, it's done now. But she doesn't have to stay in self-destruct mode like she has. It is easy to make fun of her, but she did beat the odds. She did destroy that headline matrix. If she did it once, she could do it again. She has whatever it takes to do that in her. But my question is she too lost now? Is she so convinced of her own narrative that she can't see the facts for her own fiction? Meghan had it all. She reached heights that would make anyone dizzy. And on a human level, that's understandable. Maybe she did get scared once she got there. Maybe she just wanted to come down. But the way she chose to do it hurt people. She didn't tell the truth. She reframed it. Maybe she always had doubts about royal life and felt trapped once the engagement was public. Maybe she intended to stay and just buckled under the pressure once the reality of life in the royal family set in. Whatever the reason, she could have been honest about it. She could have said, "This isn't what I expected." And she could still have had some credibility, even here, even as the Duchess of Sussex. But she didn't. She chose to rewrite the story instead, and when a person becomes dependent on a version of their truth that cannot coexist with facts, they don't just lose their credibility, they lose themselves. And that's where Meghan is now. She's not the victim of a cruel world. She's a victim of her own fiction. So how does she come back from this? She'll only be able to come back if she allows herself to sit in silence, in quiet. She can't stop being the caricature she's created of herself, the one known as Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, until she can figure out what her own name is. She's so lost, she can't even decide on that anymore. Whether she'll be able to navigate her way out of the fiction she's created and back into facts, back into reality, we don't know. But she won't be able to do it continuing on the way she has been. She has to go away. She has to go figure this out for herself. I hope she will, because Meghan doesn't exist in a vacuum. There are children involved in this. She has extended family. So does Harry. And in some way, all of these people are impacted by these actions that seem to become more and more outrageous. With everything she's accomplished so far, I believe she can do it. But whether she will, we'll have to see.